November 8, 2021, a single transaction clears for $102 million. The man signing the check isn't a defense contractor. He isn't a general, and he isn't a politician. He is the man who decides what song plays next on your drive to work. Daniel Ek, the CEO of Spotify. For over a decade, you paid him to save the music industry, but on that cold morning in November, public records confirmed that money didn't go to struggling songwriters. It went directly into the accounts of Helsing AI, a company designed to optimize tank warfare and drone targeting in real time. The media panicked, artists threatened to leave the platform, but the money was already gone. This isn't a story about streaming royalties. It is the story of how your monthly subscription fee might be accidentally funding the next global conflict. Rewind to 2006. The music business was a corpse. Napster and LimeWire had stripped the industry to the bone. CD sales were plummeting. Piracy was the only law. Enter the 23-year-old prodigy from Stockholm. Daniel Ek didn't try to fight the pirates. He just made something faster than them. He offered the world a simple trade. Give me $10 a month and you can have it all. It worked. He single-handedly convinced the world to pay for music again. By 2019, he was the white knight of Silicon Valley. He wasn't selling user data like Facebook. He wasn't building sweatshops like Amazon. He was just the guy who gave us our playlists. He was worth billions, featured on every major magazine cover, and trusted by the public. He was the good billionaire, or so we thought, because while the world was celebrating the savior of music, Daniel Ek was quietly losing interest in songs. And a bored billionaire with a god complex is a very dangerous thing. The year is 2020. The entire world is locked inside. While the global economy collapses, Spotify enters its golden age. Millions of people are stuck at home, desperate for distraction. They stream billions of hours of podcasts and playlists. The company's stock price goes vertical. It hits $364 a share. Daniel Ek is no longer just a millionaire. He is worth nearly $5 billion. This is the moment where the mechanism shifts. When you have that much capital, you stop looking at quarterly reports. You start looking at legacy. In September 2020, Ek makes a public announcement that sounds incredibly noble. He pledges to invest 1 billion euros of his personal wealth into deep tech. He calls his new investment vehicle prima materia. It is a Latin term used in alchemy. It means the first matter, the substance from which all other things are born. The branding is sleek. The website is vague. He tells the press he wants to solve the world's hardest problems. Everyone assumes he means climate change, or curing cancer, or clean energy. The media applauds him. They write puff pieces about the European dream. They call him the anti-Zuckerberg. But they didn't look closely at the fine print of his philosophy. Ek wasn't just interested in saving the world. He was interested in defending it. He began meeting with defense experts and military strategists. He became obsessed with the idea that Europe was falling behind in the AI arms race. The mechanism of the scheme was simple. He used the goodwill he earned from artists to buy his way into the military-industrial complex. He took the profits generated by Driver's License and Bad Bunny, and he prepared to funnel them into a sector that usually requires a government clearance. The money was ready. The target was chosen, and on the surface, everything looked perfect. The stock was high. The user base was growing, but in the backrooms of prima materia, the first check was being written, and it wasn't for solar panels. It was for the kill chain. So, what exactly did Daniel Ek buy with 100 million euros of streaming money? He bought into a company called Helsing, and their product is terrifyingly brilliant. They don't build the tanks, they don't build the jets, they build the brain that controls them. Helsing software takes data from thousands of sensors, infrared cameras, sonar, radio frequencies. It feeds all that noise into a cognitive artificial intelligence. In milliseconds, it creates a perfect 3D model of the battlefield. It highlights the enemies. It predicts their movement. It hands the target to the soldier on a silver platter. It is the ultimate God mode for warfare. When the deal went through, the inner circle at Spotify must have known the optics were bad. They brand themselves on peace, love, and creativity. But Ek ignored the friction. He didn't just write a check and walk away. He doubled down. He personally joined the board of Helsing. He sat at the table with defense experts and military strategists. He argued that this wasn't about war. He claimed it was about European sovereignty. He told the press that democracies must be able to defend themselves. It was a cold, calculated pivot, but there was a massive problem he overlooked: the source of his capital. That 100 million euros wasn't generated by selling weapons. It was generated by artists, by indie bands who preach nonviolence, by hip-hop artists who fight against police brutality, by folk singers who protest wars. Unknowingly, every time they uploaded a song, and every time you hit play, you were feeding a treasury that was now being emptied into the defense sector. The money had been laundered through the system perfectly. The sweat of the artist had become the fuel for the soldier. Eck thought no one would notice the connection. He thought the complex world of venture capital was too boring for the average music fan to understand. He was wrong, because on social media, the whispers were starting to turn into a scream. A storm was forming, and the white knight of music was about to face a rebellion from the very people who made him rich. The backlash arrived with the force of a sonic boom. November 2021, the headlines hit the internet. Spotify CEO funds AI weapons. Twitter exploded. The hashtag boycott Spotify began to trend globally. Independent artists, already starving from fractions of a penny per stream, were furious. Musicians like Darren Sangita publicly shredded their subscriptions. They argued that music is sacred, that it shouldn't share a bank account with guided missiles. For a moment, it looked like the walls were closing in on Daniel Ek. The PR team scrambled. The stock wobbled. But then, the noise stopped. And this is the most brutal part of the story. The collapse didn't happen to the villain. It happened to the resistance. The boycott failed. Why? Because you didn't leave. The algorithm was too good. The playlists were too convenient. And the artists? They realized they were trapped. Spotify controls the market. Leaving the platform isn't a protest. It is financial suicide. So, Daniel Ek didn't apologize. He didn't sell his shares in Helsing. He simply waited for the news cycle to move on. And it did. He kept the music, he kept the money, and he kept the war machine. Today, Helsing is one of the most valuable AI defense companies in Europe. They are currently active in Ukraine. They are working with NATO. And their early growth was fueled, in part, by the profits of pop songs. This is the new reality of Silicon Valley. The era of the harmless tech nerd is over. Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and now Spotify. They are the new defense contractors. The line between your digital convenience and global warfare has been erased. So tonight, when you open the app, when you put on your noise-canceling headphones to block out the world, just remember what you are actually connecting to. The algorithm that knows what you want to hear is built by the same people teaching machines who to kill. And every month, at 11.99, you are helping them keep the lights on.